Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to another Vainglory video. And today is going to be a little different video. Some of you guys have asked for a patch review, so that's what I'm going to do. And I want you guys to comment below, like, what I'm doing wrong, like, give me some tips, because this is my very first time that I'm actually doing a patch review. So just comment down below what I'm missing or what you would like to see more in a video. All right, let's get into it. So this patch, I think it's patch 4.5. It's not really a big patch because they only changed a couple heroes and they didn't really change many items. So they nerfed Anka. It's actually a pretty substantial nerf here. Like from 19 plus 1% to 20% at all levels. Like Anka is the same on level 1, but she gets nerfed like when you get to late game. It's a pretty hard nerf actually. Like it's a pretty good nerf. And also they nerfed her A and her B. Like I think Anka definitely deserved these nerfs because Anka was super strong. I still think Anka is like pretty strong. And by the way, at the end of this video, I will show the tier list. Like I have these tier lists ready here, and I will show them at the end of the video for every single position. Yeah. So Anka did get nerfed, but I still think Anka is going to be pretty strong. Like not as strong as now, of course. Like it's not going to be pretty much must pick hero, but it's still going to be a very very good hero. They buffed Blackfeather, but they just buffed him a little bit. Like they buffed the base damage on his A and they buffed the barrier strength on his B. I think Weapon Blackfeather will be a little better because of this. But I still think Crystal Power Blackfeather is the main thing on Blackfeather, just because like it's kind of hard to play Weapon Blackfeather if he's not that strong in 5v5 because like if you dive, they can just all focus you and kill you. I don't know. Like I don't think Blackfeather is gonna be good enough even after these buffs. I mean, if you hit your B all the time, perhaps it could be good in the late game as you get more barrier. But as I said, I don't think Blackfeather is going to be very, very good. Now, Kane. Kane, I expected a little bigger nerf on Kane, to be honest. They only nerfed the slow strength on his A. They didn't nerf the damage. So they just nerfed a little bit of the slow. And they nerfed, well, they nerfed his ultimate pretty hard, actually. Like, that is a pretty hard nerf. But I think Kane is still the #1 hero in the game right now, just because they didn't nerf the damage on his A. Like Kane can pretty much burst down any squishy hero with his A. It's actually insane. They should have nerfed the damage of his A, not only the slow. Kane is still a touch too strong. Well, Kane is way too strong, guys. Celeste. So they nerfed Celeste. They nerfed Celeste pretty damn hard. Like this from 1.2 seconds to 1.8. This is a big nerf. This is really a big nerf. But they made the star duration a little longer, so you could do better supernovas. So your star will remain on the map for like two seconds longer. So you can build like a wall, like you can build a wall of Celeste Ace and do supernova. So I guess Celeste gains more control because of this. Not a lot, but just a little bit. But well, actually, no, she doesn't because her cooldown got nerfed, so she can place down less stars. That doesn't make sense what I just said because she can place down less stars. So it's actually, I mean, it makes sense that they make the star duration a little longer. You just have to be more careful with your placement now. You can't just spam it anymore because the cooldown is too long. They also nerfed her ult. I don't like that they nerfed her ult damage. It was like Celeste, the most fun ability of Celeste. I honestly don't think her ultimate was broken. I think this would have been enough of a nerf on Celeste. But oh well, like her ult will do less damage now, right? I guess you should use her ult more to finish someone off now rather than just dealing straight up damage. Jewel. Now Jewel got some interesting changes. The disparity between the damage Jewel sustains on the back versus the front was massive. So we gave her a bit of a bump to her base stats. So they pretty much they made her armor bigger and her shield. They just buffed her. They didn't nerf her perk. They just buffed her base armor and shield. From 25 to 75 goes to this. Now that is a pretty good buff. Like Jewel gets tankier. I think Jewel gets tankier on the front as well and on the sides because this is on everything. Like this is the base. But I'm not quite sure about that. At least all we know is Jewel got tankier. Base damage is now weapon instead of crystal. Weapon power ratio 200 to 220%. So I don't know what it means for crystal Jewel. I assume it doesn't change crystal Jewel. Well, let's see what it says here. We also turn the Thunder Strike into weapon damage, so she can take advantage of piercing. Oh, okay, yeah. So weapon power will be stronger. I don't really know about crystal. I will try it out, and then I'll tell you guys. But at least weapon Jewel got really strong now. Like now you can build breaking point, and a bone saw, and it's gonna work way better with her B because her full B is weapon power, so it will stack up the breaking point harder. And also got a weapon buff. So they took away the crit from Jewel a couple months ago, which is very sad, honestly. But now they actually buffed Weapon Jewel pretty hard. And Weapon Jewel was not even, well, it was not the best, but it was not even that bad, to be honest. I think Jewel's going to be a very, very good hero now. Like, pretty good. Castro. Castro hasn't been much of a favorite these days when compared to other carries. What do you mean? Castro has literally been one of the best bot laners in top tier. These changes should strengthen her weapon path and grant her a little more safety in teamfights. Basic attack weapon ratio. So they buffed her A. They buffed the weapon damage on her A. And they buffed the base stealth duration. This definitely makes Castro an S tier bot laner. Like, there is no way that Castro is not going to be broken in the bot lane right now because she was already like insane. She was not broken, but she was super strong. And now she's just gonna be pretty much, well, not broken, but really, really strong, like way too strong. Cruel. Despite the changes last patch, Cruel still just isn't as scary as it needs to be. So they're buffing Cruel again. I like where this is going. I really do. They changed the charge time in the bush from 1 second to 0.7 seconds. So now it only takes 0.7 seconds to get you perk off in a bush. This makes Cruel like way more mobile. You can just go to a bush and wait 0.7 seconds and then immediately go into the fight instead of 1 second. I mean, 0.3 seconds may not seem like a lot, but it definitely is. You will definitely feel it. They also buffed his B a little bit. You get more damage. So if you get 8 stacks on Spectral Smite, you actually get quite a bit more damage. It's pretty good. Well, actually, no, it's plus 10 on every stack. So it's the same on every stack. But it's good. Like he just gets more damage off his B. I don't think Weapon Cruel is going to be good. As you can see, they also buffed the heal. I think CP Cruel takes the most advantage of these buffs. Like if you well, not CP utility Cruel with a little bit of crystal power. Like perhaps you could go for an aftershock or even a shatter glass just to enhance these stats. Because Cruel's gonna deal insane damage like this. Leo. Leo's buffs from last patch, though well intended, were causing him a little too much damage. I think they got that right. It was just a little bit. So they definitely decided to nerf Leo, but let's see how big the nerfs are. They only nerfed his weapon ratio from 320 to 300%. This makes his A still way, way too strong. His A is still going to deal like massive damage. 10, 25, 40 to 15%. Now this is a good nerf. This definitely tunes down his damage a little bit. You can't one-shot carries anymore. Like the 40% was just too much. Now it's 15 at all levels. But this actually makes Leo stronger on level 6 than he was before. Because look at this. He gets a 5% buff, and this nerf is just 20%. I think he might actually be stronger level 6 than before. Leo is still really good. Lion Smite, sorry. Crushing Strike, Bleed ratio. Yeah, okay, so he also deals less damage with the bleed. I mean, that makes sense. He just dealt too much damage. Leon's Might, Crushing Strike. Okay, so and also, okay, so they just nerfed his ult with A combination. They nerfed it pretty hard. But I still think Leo is an S tier hero just because of how broken he was. This is not enough. And his basic attacks also didn't get nerfed, so I just think Leo is going to be a little different. Instead of building Burst on Leo, I think Leo is going to be better with a breaking point after this update. Malign. A lot of Maligne's damage comes from basic attacks, which are essentially unavoidable. So we decided, okay, so they made Malign a little harder. They took away some basic attack damage and they put it in her abilities. So it gets more rewarded if you hit your abilities on Malign now rather than just basic attacking all the time. I think that is a really good change, making Malign a little harder. Let's see, it's a 10% basic attack nerf. This is pretty big. So your basic attack will do quite a bit less damage. This is not even that big of a buff, and this is not either. But I think this is normal because Malign was really good. Malign was already really good. Dark form. Okay, so this is a pretty substantial nerf. She deals way less damage with her dark form. Yeah, she just deals way. Okay, that is a good change / nerf on Malign in my opinion. It's really good. Samuel. Samuel has been one of the top mages. I actually didn't see the Samuel change before making the tier list. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a change just because of this. So his crystal ratio got down from 100% to 90%, and his empowered crystal ratio got from 110 to 100%. Yeah, that will actually cause a change in one of my tier lists. You guys will see what it's going to be. Yeah, I think this is a good nerf on Samuel. This will still remain Samuel as a top hero, but it's not gonna be as bad as now because Samuel's way too strong now. Samuel and Celeste were the top tier heroes and they deserve the nerf. And Meline actually, but Samuel and Celeste were way better. Double shot perk, base reload time from 4.5 seconds to 4. I mean, you will feel this. You will feel the change, but it's not gonna be like a substantial change. I still think Silvernell is not gonna be like a real good bot laner. He's gonna be good, but he's not gonna be able to compete with Gwen, Leo, Kane. You know these kind of heroes. He's not gonna be able to compete with them. Scarf. The general movement speed changes have made it a little difficult for Scarf to find his place in the meta. Exactly. Scarf was really bad in this meta. These changes should help him and his core ability should help him land his core ability a little easier. Projectile speed from 12.5 to 14.5. Ooh, that is a real good buff. And also his crystal ratio on his Spitfire from 90% to 110%. I think this makes Scarf the best mid laner in the update right now. At first, I thought Samuel would be the best mid laner, even after the Scarf buffs, but I'm sorry, I missed this. I literally missed this while reading the patch notes while making the tier list. If I didn't miss this, I would have put Scarf on number one. But I think Scarf will be number one, also because of this. His goop strength is also bigger, also ignited goop strength, slow strength. This is massive. These changes, like 20% extra crystal ratio, and also bigger projectile speed. Insane buffs. I really like it. I kind of miss Scarf. So you guys are gonna see Scarf videos very soon. Taka. Triple Tower's Monaco Extension Bow. Taka has been running among, I don't know what this means, but at high tiers. His House Kamua perk was giving a lot of bonus damage to players who decided to stack crit. That's true. Because his perk enhanced weapon power. So if you went crit, you would just deal insane damage. He would be able to outduel anyone, 1v1. The thing about Taka is I think Taka was balanced. Well, he could have used, like, they could have nerfed him a little bit. But this is just sad. Damage from mortal strikes can no longer crit. This, like, that kind of nerfs him pretty hard. His perk doesn't crit anymore. And he also gets less movement speed. I don't know how bad this is gonna be, but I feel like it's gonna be pretty bad. Because Taka was not a team fighting hero. Like Taka had his weaknesses. The only thing Taka could do in the late game is 1v1 heroes, or maybe 1v2 if he outplays them very well. And he could split push. Like if you played with Taka, it was pretty much a 4v5 in the late game. Taka would just split push all the time. So I don't like these changes. But we're gonna see. Crystal Vox Resonance bounces during the lane phase make it a little too easy to harass the enemy laner. Yeah, that was kind of true. Like if you played Vox, you could just harass the enemy mid laner super hard with your crystal power. But I don't think Vox was like good. Well, Vox was really good, but Vox was not really broken. This makes Vox very bad. This CP Vox, I mean, I don't know if CP Vox is gonna be unplayable, but this definitely puts Vox like very, very low. This is a buff to Weapon Vox actually. So you might see a little more Weapon Vox in the bot lane. You could give it a try. I don't think this will make Weapon Vox like really good, but it's definitely gonna make it like not trash, you know. It's gonna make it decent. But this is a pretty big nerf. And CP Vox, I don't know. Warhawk. Now these are some real good buffs. Basic attack range bonus from 2 to 4. So after you use your A, or after you use any ability, you get a 4 bonus attack range, and you get bonus damage. So you can pretty much always hit it. That is a big buff. And the cooldown on this A got reduced from this to this. It got reduced 2 seconds from any point. That is a massive buff, man. That is an insane buff. But Leo or Warhawk only had one problem, and the only problem was energy, and they buffed that as well. This is an insane buff. This makes Warhawk so strong. This probably makes Warhawk a top 3 mid laner. I'm pretty sure it does. Like, look at these buffs. The base damage increased as well. Not a lot, but it increased a little bit. And you're gonna feel that a lot in the early game, as you can see. And the crystal ratio also got increased. Like, I think Warhawk is actually gonna be the new broken hero. I really think it is. Vacuum grenade also less energy cost, so that's really good. Bigger, longer stun duration, also longer on overdrive. And they improved the weapon ratio on impact on his C. I don't think anyone is gonna play weapon Warhawk after these buffs, after these damage buffs. The base damage got improved, but the crystal it's crystal Warhawk that is gonna be OP. Well, they nerfed the crystal ratio on impact, but they buffed it on burn, so his ult is gonna be way stronger. They also buffed the slow strength. This is too big of a buff. This is way too big of a buff. Like way too. Like Warhawk was good enough this update. The only problem he had was energy. If they just buffed his energy, he would have been a balanced hero. But they just decided to make him a broken hero. I don't think he's gonna. Well, he might actually become a permaban hero, but only. I think the reason that Scarf got a big buff. Well, I'm not gonna go to Scarf. The only reason that Scarf got a big buff, it's gonna make like Warhawk not a permaban hero because Scarf is also probably just as strong as Warhawk right now. Items. So they changed. I'm not. I'm actually not gonna go over the items a lot. I'm just gonna go over the reflex blocks. So they changed the reflex blocks to from 120 to 90 seconds and from 60 to 45. I like that change. That is a really good change. Like reflex blocks had too long of a cooldown. All right, let's go to the tier list. So this is the mid lane tier list, and I am actually gonna change this tier list because, by the way, when I made this tier list, Warhawk was not available on the websites because this was like an old tier list. So Warhawk would definitely be an S tier right here. And I think Scarf would be over Warhawk. And as I said, guys, I didn't see the Samuel nerfs in the patch notes. So Samuel is A tier, Scarf is the number one on S tier, and then Warhawk. And then the list is normal. I still put Vox at the end of B tier just because I think Vox is still going to be good, but it's just not going to be as good. You know, you don't want to pick Vox over other laners. It's just, no. Um, yeah, so Scarf number one, Warhawk number two, Samuel number three. And Marine is still on top because they nerfed her, but it's not that big. All right, over to the support tier list. Lyra and Yates are still S tier, that's for sure, because they didn't nerf Lyra and Yates. Lyra and Yates are so incredibly strong. They definitely need a nerf. I put Lance on the number one of A tier just because of how strong the hero itself is. Like Lance is super strong. Lance definitely needs a nerf, in my opinion. Like Lance is insane. Catherine as well. I don't think Catherine herself is a good support, just because like okay she has a silence and stuff, but I think it's better to play Catherine in the jungle or the top lane. But Catherine is just so broken in this update that she's like a top tier support as well. They didn't even nerf Catherine, which is super stupid. Lorelai obviously is a really good support, and Finn as well. Like I think Finn is a really underrated hero. You guys should definitely try Finn in the support position. I've played Finn a couple times, and Finn is really strong. So I put him in A tier. And Samfang and Grace, they're B tier in my opinion because these heroes are just so strong in the top lane. They don't like Samfang sure works in the mid lane, but Samfang doesn't really provide a lot of support to his team. He just has his stun, he has his ult, which is good CC, but he doesn't really provide a lot of support besides his ult, and his ult is really easy blockable. So that's why. And Churnwalker, you might think like, why did I put Churnwalker so low? In my opinion, Churnwalker is a really strong hero this update, but not as a support. Just because like think about it. If you play Churnwalker in the mid lane against the top mid laners, which is Warhawk, Samuel, Scarf, and Malene, you really think Churn is going to stand a chance against these heroes? Heroes like Scarf are going to be able to destroy a Churnwalker in the mid lane because you can maintain distance and you can just keep poking them a lot. All right, over to the jungle. So Inara is definitely S tier. If you know how to play Inara well, Inara is S tier, like by far. In the previous update, in my opinion, Inara and Anka were S tier junglers, but now they nerfed Anka, so I put Anka on the number one of A tier. Like as I said, the Anka nerf is pretty big, but it's not enough to put her down like to B or C tier. Anka is still really strong. Lance is a really strong jungler. Like I told you guys, Lance is such a strong hero that that he just deserves to be on top. Like you should play him in jungle or top lane or support and just get a storm crown and journey boots first and see how strong he is. And the same is for Catherine. Catherine is just so strong that she's proud, like she's still a top tier jungler. And here comes what I mean. Churnwalker on number five. See this is what I mean. Like Churnwalker is really strong. I just don't see anyone playing him, and I don't really know why. You should play him in the jungle because Churnwalker is like super strong in the jungle. He doesn't have to deal with the poke in the mid lane, and he can just like especially in the early game, if the enemy invades or if you invade, if you have a Churnwalker in your team and you hit your abilities, no one can beat you. Like no one can beat you. It just improves your sustain and your damage so much that you can win any matchup with Churnwalker. Tony is also insane just because of his CC. Tony like Tony has very easy abilities to hit. and it rewards a lot as well with the CC. Yeah, you can check it out yourself further, but and you guys can see Cruel by the way on C tier, so that is pretty interesting as well. Top lane. Now, Samfang and Catherine are definitely the best top laners, and that's it used to be Leo because of how strong he was, but they nerfed him a little bit, so he's not as strong as these two anymore. Samfang, in my opinion, like the most broken top laner in the game. He's so stupidly broken because of his counter. Like his counter and his B, he just deals so much damage, and he gets his fortified health. He can outtrade anything. And Catherine, yeah, Catherine is just broken. I don't have to explain it. And Lance again, Lance on top of the list again. And Grace, I've done some Grace videos for you guys, and you guys should know why Grace is so strong in the top lane. And you guys can also see Jewel on the top of the B tier, and I think it might actually be a weapon jewel that is on top of the B tier. Like CP Jewel, I don't know how good CP Jewel is going to be after the changes to her B, but this is based on weapon jewel because, as I said, I didn't know about CP Jewel. So Jewel is going to be pretty damn strong as a weapon power jewel in the top lane. You're going to be able to outtrade enemy bot laners pretty easy, actually. The rest here, you know. Over to bot lane. Kane is still number one for sure. Kane is just broken. And Castro is the number two on the S tier place because of the buffs. I don't know why they buffed Castro, but definitely an S tier hero. These two, while Leo, I'm not quite sure about Leo. Like Leo is probably like either the last on the S tier or number one on 80. He's still really strong just because of his basic attacks, but you're gonna have to build him differently, as I said before. But these two heroes, Kane and Kessler, are definitely the must pick heroes in bot lane. They're gonna be the broken heroes in the top lane. And Gwen, Kensei, Kinetic are also gonna be very good bot laners. Like bot laners in this patch are just super strong. As you can see, like three heroes in the S tier. No other tier has three heroes in the S tier. And like also in the A tier, three heroes in the A tier. Well, so Jungle actually has a lot in the A tier, but bot lane has the most broken heroes in the patch right now, for sure. And as you can see, my favorite hero, Baron, right there. They didn't buff Baron, sadly. He definitely deserved a buff. Yeah. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And as I said, comment down below what I did wrong or give me tips, like just let me know because this is my very first patch breakdown video and I didn't plan anything for it. I just did it like with no planning at all. I just made the tier list and I did the video. So thank you for watching and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.